Today I want to walk you through drawing all of the lowercase letters. What I want to focus on today is drawing just kind of the standard letter. We're going to go over again the bounce and the stretching and work on those again a little bit in the future. But I really want to get these basic letter shapes down with you. So what I have here is I just have on the very back of the workbook on page 21, there's this nice blank guide sheet, and so I'm going to use that. I have a piece of my tracing paper, and then I have my pen that I'm using today, but you could also use a pencil if you'd like. And I'm just going to put my tracing paper right over the top, and I'm just going to go through each of the lowercase letters with you and just walk you through them. And these are without the bounce or stretch, just kind of the standard letter shapes. So the letter A is going to start with an upstroke, and then there's going to be an O form, and then there's going to be an underturn. So again, we're not doing any bouncing or stretching. We're just kind of doing the basic letter here. The letter B is an upstroke, an ascending loop, an O form, and then also an upstroke that's a little bit stylized. The letter C is going to be an upstroke and an O form, but instead of closing it, we kick the bottom out to the right. The letter D is going to be an upstroke, an O form, and then a ascending loop and an underturn. The letter E is going to be an upstroke, an O form that has a small loop. Then we're going to do F is going to be an upstroke, an ascending loop that moves down to a descending loop and another upstroke. G is going to be an upstroke, an O form, and a descending loop with another upstroke. H has an upstroke, an ascending loop, and a compound curve. I has an upstroke and an underturn, and then you dot it. J is going to be an upstroke and a descending loop with another upstroke. You'll notice on all these letters, I'm bringing this ending upstroke all the way up to the waistline, and that is really important, especially when we're going to start connecting our letters together. So make sure that you do that. It's like that in the workbook when you're tracing. Just make sure that you're doing that when you're drawing it on your own. The next one is K is going to be an upstroke, an ascending loop, a small O form, and an underturn. And L is an upstroke, an ascending loop, and an underturn. That one got a little bit bumpy. Let me try it again. Okay. L, M. M is going to be an upstroke, a downstroke, an overturn, and a compound curve. And N is going to be an upstroke, downstroke, compound curve. O is going to be an upstroke, an O form, and a comma dot. For this one, you can either create a loop with the comma dot, or you can do what I just did here with no loop. So the comma dot could also be like that. Either way is totally fine. A P is an upstroke, a long downstroke, an O form, and a stylized upstroke. Q is an upstroke, O form, reflected descending loop, and another upstroke. R and S are a little bit unique. So we have an upstroke, and it's going to go a little bit higher than the waistline. The waistline's here. The R and the S go above the waistline. And this little jog right here is what's unique, and then you have an underturn. The S is going to be an upstroke, and then it kind of loops around and comes back up. So this whole second part is just one motion, and it's all kind of unique. It's not based on the basic strokes. And again, it's going to come above the waistline. And that's just because proportionally it needs to be a little bit larger to look good with the other letters. T is going to be a downstroke with an underturn, and then a crossbar. And I forgot an upstroke on that one, so we'll add that second. But it would be upstroke, downstroke, and underturn, crossbar. U is going to be an upstroke, an underturn, and an underturn. W is going to be upstroke, underturn, underturn, comma dot. X is also unique. It's going to be like a compound curve, but we're not taking it all the way to the baseline or the waistline. And then it just has, you cross it like that. So it's kind of like a crossbar, but it's going at a diagonal. Next we have Y, which is going to be an upstroke, an underturn, a descending loop, and an upstroke again. And then the last one is a Z, and it kind of looks, it's a little unique, kind of like the number 2. The other way that you could do a Z would be to do kind of like an overturn, a sort of descending loop, and then an upstroke. So that's another way to do Z. That's a little bit harder, and it doesn't quite fit in the basic strokes, but you can kind of squeeze it in there. So those are all the lowercase letters. Please let me know if you have questions, or if there's certain letters you want to see or you're having struggles with writing. Please let me know, and I'd love to help you with that.